Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review of the Carl Zeiss Jena 58mm f2 manual focus lens. The reason I said this is a manual focus lens is because this lens was made in the early 50s. Everything was manual then. The basic lens is, this is coupled to an adapter. This is an M42 thread mount lens that's designed all brass with a chrome finish. This is not aluminum. This is a matte chrome over a brass. So this is a really high quality design. This lens has a nice aperture ring, which is in the front. I reinstalled it on the adapter to show you the function of the lens. Up at the very front of the lens, you have the aperture ring. Right behind it, you have the stop down ring. Then behind that, you have the focus ring. The focus ring has a really nice textured finish. It's easy to grip. The particular model that Aaron loaned me here was made in the early 50s, and I think it said on the fact page I used is a really good resource for Zeiss glass. This page was full of information about these lenses. This lens has a minimum focus distance. What is the minimum focus on this lens? This lens has a minimum focus distance of about 18 inches, foot and a half or so. It's a half a meter, and it's only marked in meters, so you know, I'm translating in my head. It does have a aperture from f2 to f22, but it has this functional ring on it that's under spring compression. And what it's for is, back in the day when this lens was brought out, you had handheld light meters. Some cameras had them built in, but they were light meters, and that's how you measured your scene. It wasn't automatic. There was no auto meterings. What you do is you'd meter the light, and it would tell you f8 at 1/250th of a second for the ISO that you're shooting. You would set this ring. When you pull it down, there's a little red dot right here, and you'd pull it down and line it up with the f8 so that you knew you was going to be stopped down. Now, the next thing you did was you adjusted the aperture wide open. The reason you did that was that allowed the maximum amount of light into the camera and the shallowest depth of field. So when you focus, now you got the brightest viewfinder, and the object that you're trying to get in focus in the frame is more crisply defined. In other words, the area behind and in front of the actual person or whatever you're going to photograph is going to be a little blurrier, so it makes it easier to manually see focus. Once you get them in focus at f2, you literally just turn it until it hits that stop. And now it's at f8. And you don't even have to come off the camera to do that. You're looking through the lens, you get it focused, you just spin it till it clicks. You know your meter value is for f8, take the frame. That's the idea behind that little spring-loaded function. I thought that's pretty ingenious, really. I have seen these kind of deals on lenses in the past, but this is like the second, maybe third one I've ever actually seen and actually put my hands on and used. 58mm, a little touch long for most people. Not bad, but it's a little long, and it gives you beautiful portraiture, for lack of a better term. This lens has the infamous red T on it. Before, I think, it was like 1939. It's also in the same fact page I looked this up on. Zeiss lenses were uncoated. And then some guy invented a coating that would help get rid of flaring in bright light. So he puts this coating on the lens, and the T is for transparency or transparent coating. In German, it's transparent, well, I think with a Z, something like that, but it basically means it's a coating to let more light through the lens. To this day, they use that same mark going back in time to the period when that coating was invented. So when you see the red T on a Zeiss lens, almost said Leica there, that's what it's about. This lens is steeped in history. This one doesn't have the aperture pin, so it's not the late 50s version, but it is a really nice lens. I took a bunch of photos with it over the past few weeks. They've been kind of populating through the video here as I talk, but yeah, these are beautiful lenses. And if you can get your hand on one of these, you will have done well. If you get one made before World War II, supposedly they used whale oil or whale fat as the lube. That was real common back then. And you'll probably need to get it CLA'd at a trusted camera shop. I put it on my Leica L-mount adapter, M42 to L-mount. That's all I wanted to really say about it. So until next time, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I'm gonna tell you to get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.